Many entrepreneurs believe they need to form an LLC before getting an employer identification number, but that's not the case. You can obtain an EIN without creating an LLC, and doing so might offer several advantages for your business. An employer identification number, or EIN, is essentially a tax ID number used by the Internal Revenue Service to identify businesses for tax purposes. Think of it as a social security number for your business. While LLCs often use EINs, they are not exclusively for limited liability companies. So, who can apply for an EIN without forming an LLC? The list includes sole proprietors who want an alternative to using their social security number, nonprofit organizations, trusts and estates, corporations and partnerships, real estate investors operating rental properties, and even freelancers or independent contractors who prefer to keep their business income separate from personal finances. When is an EIN actually required? If you hire employees, you must have an EIN, regardless of your business structure. You also need one if you set up certain retirement plans, like a KEOG or Solo 401k. Additionally, if you buy or inherit an existing business, incorporate or form an LLC, or file for bankruptcy, you'll need to obtain an EIN. Even when not strictly required, having an EIN offers several benefits. It protects your personal identity by keeping your social security number private in business transactions. Most banks require an EIN to open a business bank account, which helps separate personal and business finances. An EIN can also establish independent contractor status and build credibility with clients, vendors, and potential lenders. Applying for an EIN is straightforward and free. The fastest method is applying online through the IRS website, where you'll receive your EIN immediately after submitting the application. Alternatively, you can apply by fax or mail by completing Form SS4, though these methods take longer to process. International applicants without a social security number can apply by phone or use an individual taxpayer identification number. Different business structures have different EIN requirements. Single-member LLCs and sole proprietorships without employees can often use the owner's social security number instead of an EIN. However, multi-member LLCs, corporations, and partnerships must have an EIN. LLCs that choose to be taxed as corporations or partnerships also need an EIN. If you change your business structure, you may need a new EIN. For example, transitioning from a sole proprietorship to an LLC or corporation requires obtaining a new EIN. The same applies if your business is bought or if the owner of the business dies. When deciding between using an EIN or your social security number for business purposes, consider the privacy implications. An EIN protects your personal identity, while a social security number ties your business to your personal finances. For banking, an EIN is typically required for business accounts, whereas not all financial institutions accept a social security number for business banking. An EIN also makes it easier to track business income separately for tax reporting purposes. To summarize, you can absolutely get an EIN without forming an LLC. Whether you're a sole proprietor, trust, estate, or other entity, an EIN can provide tax and privacy advantages. The application process is free and relatively simple, even if not required for your current business structure. Having an EIN can facilitate business banking, protect your identity, and establish credibility. If your business grows or changes structure in the future, you can always apply for a new EIN to match your evolving needs.